everybody. Welcome back to My New Addiction. I was just sitting here kind of reminiscing to myself, and I remembered a story I want to tell you guys, and I'm still ashamed of it to this day. I'm still embarrassed by it to this day. And if anybody out there that knew me way back then sees this, you'll know why I was embarrassed, because you remember it too. But a friend of mine that lived up the street, we lived out in the country, and he lived up, well, I say the street, our road. He was a quarter of a mile away from us. But anyway, we were really good friends in high school, and his dad always had a well-stocked liquor cabinet, and his family was about to throw some sort of a shindig or party or something, and they had bought a case of very old Barton bourbon in fifth bottles, a whole case of fifth bottles. And we both got invited to a party over the weekend, and he decided he was going to steal a bottle of this liquor so we could take it to the party, you know. And over the weekend, everything, well, he got in trouble for something else and got grounded and couldn't go to the party, and I didn't want to go without him. And that Monday morning, I thought, well, I've got that bottle of bourbon tucked away. I'm going to drink a little bit of that and get me a buzz on before I go to school. Now, mind you, this is the first time I've ever drank any hard liquor in my life, so I didn't know how much of it I was supposed to drink. And I turned the bottle up, and boy, it was horrible, but I managed to just kind of chug it down. And then I took the bottle away from my lips, and I thought, well, I don't feel anything yet, so I started chugging some more down, and done that about 3 or 4 times. And by the time I was done, I'd probably drank nearly 3/4 of that fifth of very old Barton, and still didn't feel anything. And I went into the kitchen, and I remember sitting down eating breakfast, and when I got done eating breakfast, I was going out to catch the bus. And the last thing I remember was turning around and telling my grandmother that I loved her and I was on my way to school. That was the last thing I remember. Well, that afternoon, I woke up covered in my own vomit on our garage floor. And we had a partition that ran down from where I went outside to go catch the bus. There was a partition that ran down, made like a hallway in the garage. So the garage part was where, you know, we'd never kept a car in there. It was just full of stuff. And if you didn't walk that far and go into the garage, you would go down this hallway, which we always used. Well, I assumed when I woke up and I looked at my watch, it was about 4 o'clock in the afternoon. And I had assumed that maybe I just passed out there, and I woke up and I was going to kind of clean myself up and walk in like nothing ever happened. I just got home from school. Well, when I opened the door and I seen my grandmother's face, I knew that it wasn't the case. Apparently, my friends helped me get on the bus, helped me into the school, and from what I understand, it didn't take long before the principal of the school had gotten a hold of me, and I was in his office, and apparently that's where the vomiting started. Because his entire office, his desk, him, the floor, the chair, everything, it was covered in Rice Krispies from that morning. I'm sorry to be so graphic, but it was. And I got it suspended, apparently, for a week, and my granddad was called from work to come and get me from school drunk, and he was the one that placed me on the garage floor. And that was my first and last time of my life ever being drunk. I've just never been much of a fan of alcohol. I drink a little here and there socially through the years, but I've never been much of a drinker, and I believe it was because of that day. So in a way, I'm kind of thankful for that. But it was one of the most embarrassing things I've ever done in my life, and I'm deathly ashamed of it. And I'll never forget the look in my grandmother and granddad's eyes. That was the worst punishment I think a child could have ever had, and I learned a valuable lesson that day. And I know this was kind of a personal story, and a lot of you people may not even want to hear it, but I wanted to tell it. And maybe I needed to tell it for myself. You know, I just needed to say it, because I haven't told that story very many times to very many people, and now I'm kind of putting it out for the world to see. But I am ashamed of it now, and I was ashamed of it then. You know, things happen, and my friend out there, that I won't mention his name, maybe he'll see this and he'll know who it is. Just be glad you got in trouble and we didn't go to that party that weekend, because you never know what it could have caused for either one of us. But I guarantee you saved me. It saved me a life, probably of drinking. So I'm thankful for that. And tell your dad, if he's still with us, that I'm terribly sorry, and I always have been. Anyway, I'm gonna let you guys go, and we'll talk to you another time. And I love you, and y'all be good.